Welcome back to another episode of the Blockburner Podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, Iman.
What's going on?
And on the sticks, we got TJ.
Hello.
All right, dude.
We're back.
We just recorded Thursday's video, and we're talking about the NAT token. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but I think NAT is one of the most bullish things to ever happen in crypto. What do you think?
Wow.
What do you say to that, dude?
I don't know. I question your your authenticity with this statement, right? Because, I mean, the most bullish thing to ever happen in crypto.
Well, that's really Bitcoin, but then the second thing is definitely NAT.
Yeah, I think I think what NAT represents for sure of like where crypto could potentially veer into the future as a follow-up consequence of like NAT adoption and such. Yeah, I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, and also
it's a pretty massive deal, actually.
Yeah, I think also the way that Bitcoin, the network, is being utilized makes NAT an even bigger deal. Because had Satoshi's vision, that's funny.
Yeah, we get it. Shout out, Craig Wright.
Had Bitcoin actually been a peer-to-peer cash, the NAT token wouldn't be as powerful or as interesting.
Yeah, I agree. But again, it's like, so NAT, the reason why NAT's interesting is because it truly is like a Trojan horse opportunity. Because again, I think originally NAT wasn't purposed to serve as like this potential contributing solution to a very major problem. But down the line, it was reiterated to be exactly that. But that's like not the end of the story of NAT, right? Like I said, it's if that is to succeed in NAT's purpose, to become a second subsidy to Bitcoin, you know, once people understand the nature of NAT and how it's produced and, you know, DMT conceptually, the framework around that, the mental framework and the potential physics alignments to that, then it starts to really explode into these new verticals of, I think, like underexplored pathways that nobody's ever thought Bitcoin to potentially be host of.
Totally
right?
agree.
Like that's crazy.
That is the nature of DMT, which is digital matter theory, that we're using Bitcoin in a whole new way.
Yeah, which I think is, it's not obvious why that's important or like if even that's needed. Bitcoin's crushing it, dude.
Yeah,
fucking killing it out there.
it is. It's being
120K.
It's being adopted by institutions. It's being financialized.
It's on CNBC basically
every day.
At this
Yeah,
point. They're frothing at the mouth for this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Everybody who's got a 401k or whatever, or some sort of like investment vehicle, they're begging their brokers and such to set up some kind of instrument or packaging for me to get involved. Like, I want exposure to this stuff, but not really. I don't want to buy any Bitcoin and self-custody that shit. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's what nerds do. I'm too busy on my yacht, dude. It's like, but I like that this thing only goes up, right? so get me some exposure to that.
Yeah.
So that's what Wall Street is scrambling to do, essentially. So in light of that scenario, it doesn't look like there's any looming problem at all.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
Yeah. And I was looking at the adoption of Bitcoin so far, and it's roughly at 2 to 3% like worldwide human penetration, meaning like actual holders. And then I looked at the adoption curve of things like networks, such as like cell phones, the internet, and they all follow this bell curve. And any time below 3% is like the early adopters, and then we have the early majority, and then we have the early, I guess, late majority.
Yeah.
And that equals 50%. And so that is what's going to happen over the next 10 to 15 years because of things like ETFs. People won't actually be holding Bitcoin, but their 401ks will.
Yeah, exactly.
And so all of a sudden you have, 20, 30% of the worldwide adoption holding Bitcoin without even actually buying the thing.
Yeah, and that's what you want.
That's
right?
what you want, yeah.
That's how you actually like ingrain this new class of assets into the financial system, because that's just how it's been done in the past, right? And that's how you get like the liquidity of Earth.
Yeah.
Or at least the liquidity of like, advanced financial economies, advanced economies, involved in the growth of these assets, right?
Yeah, and so you would think that, Bitcoin sort of has won, right, in that scenario where the world starts adopting Bitcoin and, you wouldn't perceive to be a problem to within Bitcoin that you could sort of think of when you start understanding that Bitcoin is just being adopted worldwide. So like, what do you mean that there's a problem with Bitcoin? And the problem really, in our eyes, really relies on the utilization of the network itself. Because if you go to the mempool, you'll find on occasion completely empty network, nobody using it. So why is this a problem? Well, in the long term, by the year 2140, which it's a long time from now, it's about 115 years. After 2140, the subsidy is completely cut off. And so if miners don't have the subsidy to sustain the network and they have very little transactions, what is to support the network? Why would miners continue running the network? Out of goodwill?
Yeah.
It costs money to run the network. So where does the money come to pay for running the network?
Yeah. So the only other scenario here is like, government takeover in a sense, like
yes,
where it's essentially like a cost sink just to maintain control over this network.
Yeah,
right? Because it has become such like a financial pillar.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I find it interesting. I think that is a path that could sustain the network, but it's a black hole. And so here's what I mean by this network being a black hole. So now you have countries footing the bill, right? They're earning nothing, but they have to support the network because their entire net worth is in Bitcoin, right? The whole world, everyone depends on Bitcoin in this scenario.
Yeah, this scenario would most likely play out if the theory of like the United States stockpiling Bitcoin to offset their debt.
Yeah, exactly.
If that is to play out, this is a likely scenario, right?
Yeah, and I'll pull up that chart. But let's assume the United States has 1 million Bitcoin, or in a bullish scenario,
right?
4 million, right?
Yeah. That's a lot of Bitcoin.
That's a lot of Bitcoin. So they have a vested interest to support the network. So now they're like, okay, well, we're just going to run the network since it's not really sustainable for like the public domain to sustain the network because it costs money. So the United States will just run the network itself. Okay, so they're doing it. So now in this scenario, other countries are also doing it as well because they've also underpinned their entire financial foundation on Bitcoin. So they're running it. And so now we have different countries running the network. So that's kind of a cool thing, right? Well, the problem with that is guess what? Technology still improves in this time. And there's going to be new hash power being generated with new technology. So that is more efficient, that is more powerful. And so all of a sudden, other countries will purchase that hash power, the more efficient hash power, and they'll start gaining more momentum and more hash power of the network. And so when they do that, the United States loses that hash power because better technology. And so the United States has to spend more money to replace all the hardware to maintain competition so that they can actually make, country to country transactions using the Bitcoin network. And if they lose that hash power, other countries can collude to eliminate the United States from making transactions in the network because they hold most of the hash power, right? And so now the United States needs to continue funneling more money to buy more hardware to sustain their hash power. And so other countries have to do the same thing. And it's a bottomless pit of money sink into the network. And that is not sustainable, even from a government just like supporting the network.
Yeah, and I wonder what the logistics of that digital arms race ends up being, because I feel like there's already that kind of happening, at least from the AI perspective, right? There's clearly an arms race among nations to fund infrastructure growth around AI for potential, future, whatever the future consequence of one country having like a dominant share of whatever it is that these AI large language models need in order to accelerate and to outperform others.
Yeah.
But there are some bottlenecks, and I think energy is one of the biggest.
Energy,
one.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think China has like everybody cooked in that regard. So it's like China has the most optimal setup, I guess. And of course, obviously, they have probably the large majority distribution levers as far as the individual components to making this hardware.
Yeah, and also think about this too, energy being a bottleneck for AI and even Bitcoin to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But here's my point on technology. Well, we have a fusion technology that's about to,
that should help.
That is going to make 10 times cheaper electricity and 100 times more electricity as well. And so the AI system, Bitcoin network, they can tap into that. Now it's cheaper. So when it's cheaper, you could buy more hardware to sustain the network.
True, yeah.
And then it's like it's an arms race every single time.
Yeah.
And so all that means is more money sink. Doesn't matter if technology gets cheaper or more efficient. You have to sink more money to stay in competition.
Well, this sounds good, though. It sounds bullish for like the species, right?
Well, it sounds bullish for DMT. All of a sudden, hash power in the species too. And hash power goes up. NAT production goes down. And, that is, DMT being, part of this whole thing. It's like the assets that come from DMT are much more valuable because it's on a harder network.
Yeah. I would imagine the immutable nature of them, the patterns and the properties that are rooted to these assets, right? Like they become that much, more in an unbreakable state.
Yes.
Right. So that is where the digital matter, like the nomenclature of the framework itself, right? That is the idea, the concept of it. As Bitcoin strengthens the network over time, these properties become like immovable forces in the same sense, like, the forces of nature are they're non-arbitrarily present.
Yeah,
right?
and they're immutable.
Yeah, they cannot be fucked with or tampered with. We can't just break these things. Although, according to some scientists in Harvard, there's like a Mount Everest-sized spacecraft on on its way to Earth by 2027 that is, according to him, breaking the laws of physics.
Yeah. It's actually like it's not acting like a comet because it's slowing down or something like that.
It's moving at some speed, but it doesn't have like the properties of a comet, right? There's no like gaseous trail to it, and it's like a massive thing.
It could be a giant rock of gold.
Hell yeah, dude! That sounds great. That's the nail in the coffin for gold.
Yeah, it is.
Bitcoin's gonna skyrocket if that thing collides.
That's right.
Or maybe just needs to get close enough for Elon to like send his little retractable rockets or whatever.
Yeah.
You just go mine them for a bit, and then once it's far enough, just bring them back, dude. Come back with boatloads of gold. Who knows?
Yeah.
But typically you can't really fuck with physics, right? Unless you're an alien, type 4 civilization, then they probably figured it out.
Yeah, you cannot ignore gravity.
Right. But that is what we're trying to root into and label Bitcoin as like another digital version of that.
Right? Yeah.
Which should be harnessed and leveraged to create from, because there isn't a better opportunity to build anything of substance in the digital realm.
Yeah,
than around the properties of Bitcoin.
Yeah, the thermodynamic properties from Bitcoin in the fact that if you increase the hash power, the thermodynamic hardness increases.
Yeah,
and there's nothing like that other than Bitcoin. Nothing.
Yeah, so we've set the ball moving at least at these early iterations of DMT and non-arbitrary tokens, unique non-arbitrary tokens, for it's almost 2 years now, right? But we're trying to accelerate this as much as possible. I think we should watch that Natcat video because this video came out roughly a year and a half ago, whenever the first UNATs were in production. Natcats.
Yeah.
And there was quite a market euphoria around that time, specifically in the ordinal space, because of this whole new interpretation to digital manifestation, right? This has never been done before. Ordinals were cool.
Yeah.
The fact that you can create unique assets on Bitcoin and all immutably stored on Bitcoin, again, leveraging that superpower state of Bitcoin itself. But DMT takes it to a whole other level, right? Where the actual assets themselves are no longer dependent on any creator, and they can continue to perpetuate their existence indefinitely so long as Bitcoin continues to exist, right? Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so Brooks, he did such a phenomenal job. I mean, I can't overstate how well he executed on explaining Natcats.
Yeah, I think we gave him his flowers back then. But there was so much happening at the time. It was really hard to really grasp how well executed this video was.
Yeah.
But now we just like watched it again.
Yeah.
A year and a half later, like, holy shit. We could never have gotten anywhere close to trying to package together what is Natcats and DMT and all this stuff into a 5-minute delivery.
There's no way.
Yeah. So
All
Brooks, dude, we need you, dude.
Yeah. So let's watch this, and hopefully he doesn't get mad at us playing the whole video here, but it's worth it. If you haven't seen this video, and a lot of you have not, you're gonna have to watch it now.
Yeah, watch it now.
Sold for 1.3 bitcoins, around $80,000 through a fucking Google sheet, and here's everything you need to know about it. In this video, we'll talk about why Natcats is getting so hyped, what is this new tech that's coming to ordinals, and why you should care about it. At the end, I will share my top 3 reasons why it will succeed. Let's dive in. Natcats started around 2 weeks ago and could only be traded through Discord, looking at Google Sheets. More than 140 bitcoins was traded like that. It's mind-blowing. I had so many tabs open, it was so overwhelming trying to buy one, and now I have 3. By the way, disclaimer before I forget, this is not a financial advice. This content is for educational purpose only, and I'm just sharing my thoughts and showing that my money is where my mouth is. So what the fuck is a Natcat? Natcats are the first on-chain art collection created from DMT or UNAT. Wait a second, Brooks. What is DMT and UNAT? DMT is digital matter theory, and UNAT, unique non-arbitrary token. DMT is a concept that treats digital data as a tangible material that can be shaped and utilized for creating unique digital assets. If the blockchain has specific numbers like 88, 420, or other combinations, a specific traits will appear in the cat. For example, my cat is a block number 828846. So now let's go to natcat.xyz and see what this beauty looks like. The number 8 next to another 8 generates one bow on the left and another on the right. This makes every piece of art unique. In the block that contains the number 420, for example, well, I don't have to tell you, right? You probably know what we will generate. I will leave the link to the traits docs down below so you can check it out which one is, there's a bunch. Each Natcat has unique traits generated autonomously based on the Bitcoin blockchain data. This also means new cats could potentially appear in a few years that are even more rare. Check this out. There are 0 cats with double bow alien tie. Why? Because the block number has to contain 5 consecutive 8s. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Side by side. Okay, now that you understand how the traits and rarity work, you must be wondering, how the heck are Natcats generated? And why do people look for sub 50k? What does that even mean? Sub 50k means the OG blocks that released the first generations of Natcats, which happened back in 2010. The next generation happened in 2011, and then again in 2020, and now in February 2024. Natcats currently have a supply of 8,064. Each one corresponds to a specific Bitcoin block. But why only 8,064 and not 800,000 plus, since we have that amount of blocks generated? Well, because Natcat is only created when a specific pattern 3B shows up in the bits field of a Bitcoin block. When this happens, 2016 new cats are generated. Okay, I know this is getting a little bit too technical and I don't want to lose you, so bear with me. All you need to know is that the 3B pattern has only shown up 4 times in Bitcoin's history so far, on average once every 4 years. So 4 times 2016 equals 8,064, today's supply. We don't know when this pattern will show up again.
For those who don't know why 2016, again, it's another one of these unbreakable properties of Bitcoin, right? It's what every 2 weeks is a difficulty readjustment, right?
Yes, every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks is roughly 2016 blocks.
Yeah, so typically whenever there's a difficulty adjustment, there's a new bits value, right?
Correct.
So that's where the patterns that are associated to that field, they either occur or they don't. Right, and in Natcat's case, there's only been 4 difficulty adjustments where that 3B pattern has occurred so far.
That's right.
Over the 15-year history. So 2016 blocks, which is a 2-week period, that is how long the emission of Natcats is until a new difficulty adjustment, new bits value, 3B is no longer there.
Yeah.
No more Natcats until it happens again.
Yeah,
right?
and so he explains like what that means here.
Will be occasionally supply increases, so keep that in mind. In my opinion, this is actually a good thing. This will cause the sub 50K, currently 25% total supply, to gradually decrease as the new blocks and cats are introduced.
So the implication here is that as a trader or a speculator, you want one of the early, the first generation of Natcats, because when inevitably more generations are generated non-arbitrarily, the first one will be even more rare.
Could be, yeah. That's definitely a speculation, right? It's like whether or not but it's pretty sensible. People tend to like old things, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's very easy because it's an easy story, right? It's the first, right? But that doesn't mean that 100 years from now the 8th gen Natcat is just not rare. That's not true, because 100 years from now you could have that double alien bow tie alien. That's probably going to be worth more than any of the first generation Natcats.
Yeah, it could, because they're literally singular, right? One of a kind.
One of a kind, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's interesting. There's so many different value dynamics within the collection itself.
Yeah.
As it continues to expand.
And the key word here is 100 years from now. It's like all of us are dead in 100 years from now, yet Natcats are still producing.
Yeah, and this confronts another issue within the NFT ecosystem is, the dilemma of a NFT founder, creator, whatever, when to, if or not to expand ecosystem at all, right?
And usually the equation is this: we need more money, so we need to expand.
Yeah, all of a sudden there's a new derivative of a base collection, right? Now there's 10,000 of them. The supply doubled, and then we're gonna sell them again, all over again, make $3, $5, $10 million. And we doubled this is completely arbitrary, right? That's where the name non-arbitrary comes from.
Right.
Is to remove all these human dependencies on what is going to happen to these class of assets. It's up until now, it's completely up to some foundational entity, right? And typically they always make the wrong decision. Yeah. Because it's self-serving in all cases.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So if it's a non-arbitrary process, it's all rooted to Bitcoin, which all these assets are, per their script, and the fact that there's no human pulling the lever of when these patterns occur. It's up to Bitcoin.
Yeah, right.
That's the nature of it.
Will amplify rarity, making the way for new trades in the coming years. Honestly, the inflation isn't a big deal. Given the rarity of this pattern repeating, it's worth noting that a decade has passed without it happening. For this first time, we have an NFT project that will persist with or without its founder. If the pattern happens again in 20 years, the new supply can be acquired by anyone. Now you are asking, how will the art be rendered on-chain? The script for rendering the asset is on-chain, so every mint inscription points to the script, meaning this project will outlive us whether you like it or not. This whole project is a product of a Bitcoin, and it will indefinitely be a topic of conversation because it is dependent only on Bitcoin blockchain and no one else. Here are my top 3 reasons why.
Dude, correct. If that doesn't bring a tear to your eye, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I wonder if Satoshi would think about this, dude.
He would love it.
I'd be like, you guys are stupid. How dare you tarnish this Bitcoin? Man, damn, I would like to know, actually.
Satoshi, if you're around and you're watching the video, definitely just
send us a DM, and we promise we won't leak.
Hit us up. We'll get you on the podcast.
Well, dude, we'll preserve your anonymity, we promise.
Yes.
We just want to know. Is this a good idea or not, right?
Of course it is, dude.
Probably will succeed. First, art. This piece of art somehow hits you. It's unique, super recognizable, large pixel type art. I just like it. Fresh, yet crypto native. Second, in the same way that CryptoPunks popularized the 10K PFP culture, Natcats are popularizing a ton of DMT projects. And third, it's a project that will last forever. It operates autonomously and relies only on patterns and numbers to continue as a timeless piece of art. If you like this video, make sure you like, follow, and leave me a comment below to help the X algorithm. It means a lot to me. I'll come at you with more Web3 content soon, so peace out.
All right, Brooks, he killed it. Make sure you follow this guy and let him know that we sent you over there.
Yeah, man. This is MVP type
Hold on, I'm gonna.
Productions.
So I've already retweeted this. I quote tweeted it. I'm going to quote tweet it again, and I'm gonna say, help me out here. If you have not seen, what's it?
I don't know. Maybe the statement's more like, this video was made, what, more than a year ago? Natcats are still the most interesting product in all of crypto. Is like, what is that thing that guy does where he like sits out there in front of university campuses? Change my mind or whatever. What's his name? I forget. I think it's like Louder with Crowder.
That's Steven Crowder, yeah.
Yeah, where he's like, it's some kind of controversial like take. It's like, change my mind. It's like, here we are, a year. Is that March 5th? That's like, here we are, a year and a half later, guys. Still haven't found anything that can compete to the narrative of what Natcats and UNATs and DMT. Help us find it, dude. Is it the 43rd launchpad that's coming on Solana? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Is that the one that's gonna like really reinvigorate the interest of this market, like, and re-inspire people to create and to, bring more value on chain? Is that gonna be it? Or maybe it's prediction markets. So we need more of those, right? Maybe it's the tokenization of real world assets. Maybe it's all that stuff, right? This stuff is not needed at all.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think? I don't know. You're busy typing.
Yeah.
Dude, this is what sucks about tweets, dude.
Yeah. It's like you could spend all day thinking about like the perfect.
I can't stand that you put periods on your sentences on a tweet. I fucking can't stand that, dude. Leave that shit for the emails, dude. This is social media. You don't punctuate on social media, dude.
No, you have to, dude. We're communicating with other humans.
Well, just know if you see tweets, the punctuation is will and non-punctuated, like third grade grammar. That's me. We have very different styles. But again, shout out to NatGMI Twitter handle. Shout out to them too, because that's not us. That's the community acting on our behalf to really propagate and push Nat forward. So this is why we kind of like got recirculated Brooks into our like morning coffee routine, right? It's like, dude, we need to somehow package what Nat is and what it represents and the opportunity of it into a much more digestible format, kind of like this.
Yeah.
And we didn't ask him to do it. He just voluntarily saw the value of it, did all his due diligence to an expertise level.
Yeah.
And communicated it much better than we could ever do it.
He's a sniper, dude.
Yeah, I'm pissed. Why do we not have these abilities, dude? We've been making content for years.
we don't make scripted content, and we don't. It takes a lot of time to do what he did. He's got to write a script, and then he's got to get the B-roll, and then he's got to do the animations. And I'm sure he did that all himself. Like that takes a long time to do all that.
Maybe that person who voiced autonomously is his editor. It's possible.
Possibly. Still, nonetheless, it takes a long time.
Yeah, for sure. I would imagine, other YouTubers who do like this is their content format.
Yeah.
They post like once a week.
Yeah.
For that reason.
That's
right?
right.
It's like there's a topic and it's like, all right, let's spend like 5 days shooting this fucking thing and then hacking it together for this beautiful product that we can only produce once a week.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before as well. It's like YouTube is not the only thing that you guys do.
That's true. Like,
well,
a lot of these guys, this is all that they do are content creators.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, we would like to do this stuff too, because we got obviously a lot of very complex subjects to regurgitate. And our format of doing such is
conversational.
What we're doing right now, right? But not everybody wants to sit through an hour-long thing. And even if they do, typically podcasts, you have them like running in the background type shit, right?
Yeah.
You're just like cooking or you're on the treadmill, some babe walks by and you're like distracted, right? And then it's like you missed the whole nugget.
Yeah,
right?
If you're listening to this right now, go to the comment section. Let us know what you're doing right now. Like right now.
Yeah, at this very moment.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
I
dude.
want to know exactly what you're doing.
I don't want to know that. Someone's jacking it for sure. Dude.
No way, dude. No way.
Nobody's jacking it.
No way, dude.
They like have us on the side and they're like phone in hand.
Never say never, dude.
Yeah, don't let us know, dude. If you're doing that, I don't want to know, dude. But if you're doing anything else, it's like, well, actually, I'm preparing my Q2 revenue sheets or things, my Q3 earnings report.
Anything PG-13 related, we'd like to know.
Yeah, what do you guys do?
Rated R and beyond is not interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to know, for real. But yeah, that's, I don't know. All this stuff it's criminal.
It is criminal.
It's criminal that this stuff, but it's not at the same time. It's criminal because there's some incompatibilities, I think, that exist that make this stuff in its undervalued state that it is in today, right? But that's a good thing for all you guys who are paying attention to it, because we're actively working to like break past these incompatibility barriers and such, and then introduce these products to the broader market, therefore making them much more viable and give them the notability that it deserves, right? Because every time we hone in and lock in on this stuff, it's so refreshing,
Yeah.
I feel like the market needs this stuff.
Yeah. So on Thursday, we recorded a video specifically on NAT, and the reason why we did that is because Antpool has moved the NAT token.
Yeah,
So it's confirmation that, first of all, they're aware of it.
Yeah.
Second, that they see they have an avenue to liquidate the NAT token in the same way they have avenue to liquidate Bitcoin. So that's a good thing. It's a confirmation that there is an inherent problem with Bitcoin, which is the long-term sustainability of it. And so why do I bring that up? Well, because ultimately the thing DMT that we're talking about, you compare that to anything else, it's like, it's so interesting. And the things that are getting traction right now are just like memes and things that are just don't have any fundamental attraction.
But they do to certain demographics and such, and I understand why they, at least for now, have the market's captivation, right?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy in the sense that if you could get enough people interested in a meme, even though it's just a meme, that volume of people is enough to create opportunity. And therefore, because there's an opportunity there, people just gravitate towards where there's opportunity. That's why this podcast, this channel is about opportunity.
Yeah.
And so it's totally fine that they see value in a meme coin because other people are there, and therefore volatility creates opportunity. It's just that the fundamental analysis of that meme coin is just not interesting.
Yeah, but it's the opportunity and then the blue skies potential around that, right? Because not all meme coins are built the same, right? Even though they are typically built the same, but you have these intangible factors like the founder, the initiator of a coin, or even an NFT, right? Like look at LucaNets and what he's done to Pudgy Penguins, right? Literally a failed crypto thing, brought back to life, and now the head of the market as far as the facing of how do you brand something in crypto, right? You wouldn't have known that if you speculated on the fact that Luca bought this dead NFT asset, several years ago, and you just happened to join that journey and take that speculative bet. And that's what all meme coins or NFTs represent, is that possibility, right? It can happen again, right? Some other founder could just knock it out of the park with their communication abilities, their ability to network and execute, and therefore get into store shelves and get onto ringing the Wall Street bell, eventually having an ETF for your own meme coin. And at some point there will be treasury companies buying PENGU, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So that's the allure, right?
Yeah. It's just another form of opportunity. But there's different demographics for this stuff, right? It's like some demographics will never touch a meme coin, even though there's an opportunity there. But they might look into something like the NAT token, see the fundamental value, and see its application to a problem, right? And they're like, okay, I'm in on that, but I won't buy a meme coin.
Right. That's fine.
Yeah.
But again, it's just because we need to fit what it is we see as fundamentally valuable about DMT and all this stuff like NAT and UNATs and such, into the molding of understanding of where the opportunity is today. We're talking about meme coins and such and NFTs. Like I see the demand on the timeline. Clearly, the writing is on the wall. People are burning and itching for like some new spark with specifically in the NFT market. I mean, there's demand for meme coin reinvigoration too, but I feel like that's more challenging at this point because it's already like ran its course to such a degree this cycle.
Yeah.
But NFTs have not to any degree.
Yeah.
Other than these like poster child unicorn stories like the Pudgy Penguins.
Yeah.
That's really it. I can't really point to too many other like NFT. You know, Yuga Labs just got NAT to like rock some Bored Apes merch. There's that.
Snooze.
I mean, they're out there trying to get like the Gen Z types excited about Bored Apes again. You know, they're on the verge of launching the other side, I think, for like the 10th time. I don't know. So there's still like hopium vectors out there. Oh, you got, you know, crypto punks being
swept
into treasury companies, right?
Yeah.
So there's like some, you know, some light rays.
Yeah.
Peeking through like this most
black
ominous,
hole.
most ominous looking twister sky, right?
Yeah.
Everything's purple and blue and black up there, dude. But there's like some beams. But we want the whole damn thing to clear out, and we want like lightness.
Yes. Yeah.
Like lightness?
Yeah. Brightness,
not lightness.
Light rays.
We want brightness again, dude.
Yeah.
But we think DMT can do that. Just by watching that video and like soaking it in, it's like, holy shit, this stuff is actually objectively really cool.
Yeah. You know, and we're trying to be objective here.
Yeah, I don't know if we can be.
We definitely can't be objective. We can't. But
because
if we could be objective and we saw this like from some external party, I'd be buying Natcats and NAT token just because that's the kind of investor I am. I'm a fundamentalist.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what we do on this channel. So typically the best banger investments we've like, I don't know, entertainment, pockets of entertainment that we've stumbled onto. They're always like, I don't know, there's different qualifiers, right? They have to introduce some sort of new narrative, address some sort of big overlooked problem that like the rest of the industry really hasn't like understood is a problem, such as like Ethereum scaling. It's like we had firsthand like problems with building on Ethereum, you know, 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
We were like really focused on building metaverse apps. And it's like, dude, we had some good traction. It's like, dude, we're building a business on chain. Like, this is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden Ethereum completely breaks because some cats showed
Crypto
up.
kitties. Yeah.
And we're like, fuck, dude, this is not going to work. So we had firsthand experience to a major industry dilemma that not many people were really talking about at the time.
I was like, you know what? I've heard of these second layer networks that are supposed to solve the congestion issues. Like, let's look into that. And there was like one or two at the time.
There's like a few, yeah. But the big one at the time was Matic and Polygon, right? Oh, it just launched from Binance.
Yeah.
It's an IEO. Like that's interesting.
Yeah, that solves our problem.
Yeah, like maybe we should build on that.
Yeah.
So that our app actually works, but still has the, you know, alignment to Ethereum and, you know, the finality and such.
And you know what's crazy is that thought process is on the YouTube channel. Like,
yeah, it's somewhere.
If you wanted to see like that breakthrough, it's there.
Correct. Yeah. So like here we are again. It's like, dude, Bitcoin's great. Ordinals is fucking awesome. You know, but you know, we look at the charts of the fees. It's completely sporadic. It's not sustainable. So now that we understand Bitcoin to its core, you know, we know that the subsidy reward of Bitcoin is diminishing over time. At some point, completely removed from the equation. And we're building a protocol and a framework that the value proposition to things like a Natcat or whatever is this forever longevity. You know, the fact that it can propagate as long as Bitcoin stays alive. Well, we need Bitcoin to propagate indefinitely as well in order for this framework to sustain. So these issues of sustainability are critically important to the ecosystem of DMT. So we need to do something about that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Something other than like, yeah, it'll figure itself out over time, right?
Yeah, I feel like I think it will figure itself out, but the way that it figures itself out is through things like the things that we're doing.
Right. Yeah. But we're always in this position, right? Where it's like,
Yeah.
we're building in the metaverse. It's like, man, there's a lot of problems there.
Yeah.
You could take the position of just like sitting around waiting for these problems to be solved, or
Yeah.
you got to do something about it, right?
Yeah. What motivates us to solve these problems is your underlying question.
I guess. Or
Why go through all this like chewing glass and staring into the abyss of like trying to start a business to solve these problems?
well, that's like the most like interesting thing you could do, right? I think that's what it is.
I think
that's the answer.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because the non-interesting thing to do is, okay, Solana has 42 launch pads.
It's like we should do the 43rd one.
Yeah, we should just use Radium's SDK.
Yes.
Let's call it spunk.fun, right? We got bonk, but we don't got enough spunk in the market.
Kabam.
Or maybe Moxie?
Moxie.fun.
You know what the market needs is more Moxie. Let's bring back that 1920s terminology to like really, excite people again. Or maybe it's like lit.fun.
Yeah.
It's all in the name, right? That's what's going to take.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could just do that.
That's what's needed. Yeah.
Or we can't, or we should, again, it's like, how come NFTs are being completely ignored from all this?
Yeah.
What once was the shining beacon of commercial success for the on-chain industry is completely laughed at,
Yes.
completely forgotten, completely disregarded as like has no fundamental value add to anything in crypto anymore.
Yes.
Just leave it behind and we're just full gung-ho meme ahead.
Yeah. No one uses NFTs for anything.
So we should just
Forget about it.
Yeah. No. The answer is no. We disagree with that.
Yeah.
That sentiment.
So what you're alluding to is the next thing that we're working on. That's what you're alluding to.
Yeah, which at some point
It's quite the, I don't know, this is quite complex, the thing that we're working on.
I would imagine so. I mean, we spent like 4 to 6 months or so really working on this.
Well, we spent
Probably 4
like-
months just like iterating on concept.
yes.
2 months to actually like execute. And,
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to take like 3 or 4 months to finish execution.
So 1 more month. Trying to get it out of you, dude.
I don't know.
You don't know? It's hard to say.
I'll know more once we start internally testing. And we sort of kind of have started that, but not end to end. Like you come to the platform and you leave with some tokens.
Tokens?
That's right.
What are you talking about, dude?
Cryptocurrencies.
Fun bucks? I'm all ears, dude. I can't wait for that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, sorry, guys. We're in this perpetual loop of like kind of like leaking, but not really. It's just, we just can't really talk fully about it yet. Right.
Yeah. We're shocked that no one has done this. Shocked.
Yeah. I keep asking you guys, like, why? Why do you think? Is it a technical thing?
It's definitely not technical.
Yeah, it's just the market. I think, yeah, it's just like a sentiment. It's a shock syndrome to what happened last cycle. So
Yeah, the lack of creative developers in the space because of we've had 4 years of systemic government attacks in the industry,
yeah,
and so
scared a lot of people away.
Scared people away. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe we Elon's, I guess, was kind of like in a similar boat whenever before he launched Pump, right? It was like why hasn't anybody strung together what it is I'm about to string together to facilitate what the market clearly wants. Right?
Yeah, and he saw a problem that no one else saw,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's crazy about what he did.
Mm.
And he addressed that problem with Pump.Fun, which
Yeah.
is bootstrapping liquidity. Like typically launching a token required some funds so that you could seed that token with liquidity so people can swap the token in and out.
Mm.
But you needed to launch a token, you need money. It's like, the hell? That doesn't make sense. Like imagine starting a business requires having money.
Well, it does in most cases.
I mean, it doesn't require millions of dollars to start a business anymore.
No, not millions. Hell no. But maybe like
50
50
bucks.
grand? 50? What?
Yeah.
What business are you
That's a
starting? With?
website, dude. If you know how to code, you build an app.
Oh, I'm thinking like I don't know, hot dogs.
Hot dog stand.
Wait, yeah,
What kind of world
Classic
do you
American
live in?
business, dude.
Hot
Standard
dog
practice.
stand.
yeah, dude.
Get out of here. Nobody wants your hot dogs.
I disagree. I
No way,
disagree,
dude.
I
No,
got
no, no.
I got a killer formula, dude.
No one would invest in a hot dog stand.
Not a hot dog stand, but maybe like a new brand of hot dogs. You know, a new sausage.
No, absolutely not.
What are you saying?
No.
There's store shelves all over America filled with sausages and hot dogs. People are buying these things by the day. You're saying like there's not an opportunity to like
No,
create a
there's
new
not.
one?
No, there's not.
You haven't been to
Someone challenged me on that.
You haven't been to the sausage aisle clearly lately. There's some real bangers out there, dude. And they just keep coming up with new flavors, and it's like, damn, that's good stuff. This
No.
one has like sprinkles of jalapenos.
None of those are billion-dollar companies. None of them.
No. Who's but that's who
You,
needs to
you
be a
gotta
billion-dollar
at
company?
least try to be a billion-dollar company for it to be interesting, right?
Or get acquired by a billion-dollar, sausage company.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
You-
Oscar
you-
Mayer's knocking at the door.
Yeah, it's like here's $100 million. Your sausage now belongs to us. And all it took was 50
No way.
grand in seed money, dude.
Zero probability.
Dude, this is,
Zero.
you're literally shitting on the American dream, dude. This is like happens all
No,
the time.
the new American dream is leveraging AI to create apps, and a one-man team can create a billion-dollar company.
Oh yeah, that's
That
that's a
is
whole
the
different
new
thing.
American dream.
I don't even. That's just something new.
it-
America doesn't have a lock on this. This is like
No, it
you
doesn't.
could be anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Take advantage of these tools, right? That's the beauty of it too.
Yeah, but I think your audience is going to be ultimately American.
Not if you launch on Believe, right? Vibe code your app and then launch a token on Believe. Internet capital markets, dude.
Yeah, that's still, well, a lot of those Web2 companies are American.
My point is, it doesn't have to be. We're not talking about companies anymore. You're talking about like solo devs.
Yeah.
Somebody who has.
Yeah, I think your audience, yeah, it's worldwide, yes, because
Yeah.
you're talking about internet startups.
Yeah. The new paradigm you're trying to elucidate here is like, startup culture is like a whole. It's breaching into a whole new age where it's like you don't need like a crew anymore.
Yeah, you don't need designers and
Yeah.
you don't need marketers.
Yeah. Therefore, you don't
You
need.
don't need developers. You know how crazy that sounds right now? You don't need developers.
Yeah, that is insane. Yeah, Microsoft just put out like a something where it's like 50 professions at most risk because of AI, and then 50 professions at least risk too.
Oh, yeah?
AI. And of course, developers was on the 50 at most risk.
What is at
web
most?
developers.
What was the number one? Do you remember?
Shit.
Yeah, you need to find it. I'm so curious.
Yeah,
And I'm sure like AC vac repair, right? That's in the bottom list. Plumber, bottom. But those are not, they're not safe by any means. It's just going to take a little bit longer.
Okay, I think this is it.
All right, I'm going to pull this up in,
Oh, you want to?
yeah, share it on Discord,
Okay.
and I'll pull it up here.
Yeah, let's see if we're safe here, dude.
Podcasters.
It might be on the list, actually. I don't know. I think it really is. A lot of the jobs that are going to get really decimated here is like promotional type,
All right, it says
advertising, sales reps, stuff like that.
top 40 occupations with highest AI applicability score. So coverage, completion, scope, and score. So the highest score here is interpreters and translators, and has 51,000 employed.
Damn.
So
Come
after
on.
that, historians, passenger attendants,
What is that?
sales representatives of services, writers and authors, customer service representatives, CNC tool programmers, telephone.
Operators?
Yeah.
I thought there'd be way more than that, like in the market.
Yeah. So who has 2 million right now? Customer service representatives,
There's a lot of those.
2.8 million. After that is sales reps,
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of people, dude.
ticket agents and travel clerks, broadcast announcers
us,
and
dude.
radio DJs.
We're fucked.
25,000 employed.
It's confirmed. We're fucked. This is it. Our time is ticking. Dude.
Brokerage clerks, farm and home management, educators, telemarketers, concierges, political scientists,
Ouch.
5,000 of them. New analysts, reporters, and journalists, 45,000. Mathematicians,
That's crazy.
2,000. Technical writers, 47,000. Proofreaders, hosts and hostesses, editors, business teachers, public relations specialists, demonstrators, and product promoters.
Ooh. What are those like? That's like the ShamWow guy?
Hey.
ShamWow guys in Jeopardy, dude? That sucks.
Advertising sales agents, new account clerks, statistical assistants, counter and rental clerks. Yeah, I guess they're going to be replaced by kiosks, right?
Yeah.
Data scientists, personal financial advisors,
That's crazy.
272,000. Yeah, definitely AI is going to take over that. Archivists, archivists, economic teachers, post-secondary, web developers.
That's the big one, dude.
838,000.
Yeah, we don't web devs, dude. Full stack engineers.
Models.
Models?
What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean you can AI
Yeah,
generate
models.
beautiful people like
Oh,
at the
shit.
click of a finger, dude. You
How
don't
many?
need-
How many of those are employed? 3,000.
Wow. Sucks to be ugly, doesn't it? Welcome to our life, motherfuckers, dude. It's like base reality all over again, dude. Your life cheat code has been expired, dude. That sucks.
Oh, and then look at this: market research analysts. That's kind of a little bit of what we do as well.
Yeah, I mean AIXPT can do it way better, right?
No, Grok is doing it way better than AIXPT.
Well, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's gonna should make our lives easier, right? Like we should theoretically never have to look at anything and like make a good, sound financial decision.
All right, so this one, says it's the least impacted jobs from AI yet.
Phlebotomist. What is that? Like
Whoa.
a blood doctor?
What is that?
Has to do with blood, I think.
Nursing assistants? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hazard material removal workers, helper painters, plasters, embalmers, plant and system operators, oral and maxillofacial surgeons,
Jesus. So specific, dude.
automotive glass installers and repairers, ship engineers, tire repair and changers, prosthodontists.
Prosthetics, I guess.
Yeah, helpers, production workers, highway maintenance workers, medical equipment, packaging and fulfillment. So dishwashers.
I mean, I've seen some of those Optimus bots washing dishes. Like, what?
Yeah. So what I'm seeing here is that these are physical jobs,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah, which are
Which is
super hard to.
very, very hard to automate,
Yeah.
but they will be automated. They will be automated.
Yeah, at some point. It's just this stuff is like last, right?
Yeah. Massage therapists. Can you imagine a robot massaging you?
Absolutely. I felt one at the airport recently, dude. I had like full blown COVID. It was a massage chair. It wasn't like a robot.
Oh, okay.
But it was great, dude. It was so good that I wanted to buy one for my own house, dude. I just like
They're
dude,
expensive. They're like $4 or $5 grand.
I know. It was only $5 ticket, dude, for 15 minutes of heaven. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can absolutely see like a Optimus, giving me a massage one day.
But what I'm seeing here is there's definitely, you know what's interesting in the last list? There's a few million people employed in some of those getting automated by AI. And the jobs that are least likely to get AI, at least for now, have a lot less millions of people. Right? So here's like one job, nursing assistants, has 1.3 million. But over here, look at this, 1 million.
Yeah.
Writers and authors, 2.8 million. Customer service reps.
Hmm.
And really, that was it.
Right. So what is the takeaway?
I guess the takeaway is that the jobs that have a lot of people employed are getting taken away. And then,
Yeah, essentially it's white collar versus blue collar, right? In essence.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the technical definition of blue collar? Like,
it's like
muscle.
muscle requirements.
Well, yeah, I guess like some physiological like applicability to work, right? So
Yeah.
that therefore like technicians and mechanics share the same color as surgeons and dental assistants and stuff like that, right?
Mhm,
They're all using their bodies to perform some action. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all that's going to get automated away eventually. Like maids and housekeeping cleaners, robots.
Yeah. Correct. So yeah, this is what Microsoft has to say. This is probably them justifying like they're about to lay off like all their engineers. So like, hey, this is what the report said.
Yeah.
I gotta fire you guys, you know? Shit. What did you want us to do?
Yeah.
You know? Can't just keep you guys around.
That's true.
I know you got families and shit, but it's not my problem.
No.
Just hold on long enough for once all the blue collar side gets automated, then you won't have to worry about it. You'll be taken care of, and our company will be the new world order.
The new $100 trillion company.
They just hit 4 trillion market cap, Microsoft.
Yeah, so did Nvidia. So I guess they're right behind.
Yeah, they're right there neck and neck, dude. I mean, shit. Yeah, people are saying like some big banks are starting to say like, I guess the signals are there. Like the existing equities markets are showing bigger signs of over exuberance than the .com bubble. Because like the whole market of stocks is literally in 10 companies.
Yes.
And like their ratios or whatever, PE ratios are 27x and above. Like in .com bubbles, like 24x on average. So it's like all the big tech companies are just way overvalued, is what they're saying.
I don't know about that.
I don't know either. Yeah, this might just be like how it's headed. Where it's like all of everything is just the value is in a few companies.
Yes. I think that is like what's going to happen.
So then it's not a bubble. It's a fair value. It's just like the rest of everything's outside of the top 10 is like underperforming because they're just not the right businesses to scale into the future, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could just be that. It could be like, you know, institutional finance not really recognizing the technical paradigm ahead of us.
No. The top 10 companies, all of them are something to the effect of AI.
Exactly. Well, that's why they're saying it's the reason why they're all top 10 companies because they're all like battling for AI.
Yes.
That's what's positioning them. All the market liquidity is headed to them.
Yes.
Just like during the .com era, is like all the internet companies got all the market share, right?
Yeah, it's going to so the next 50 years is going to be dominated by crypto and AI.
Yeah.
And AI is going to automate almost every single job.
Yeah.
Once robots get activated.
Oh my God. What do
and
you mean?
we're gonna see it, dude. That's so cool.
I guess. I guess that's cool. I don't know.
That's very cool. That's the coolest thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, we got to see Bitcoin born.
No, we didn't. I missed that, dude.
I mean, we didn't see it, right? But we were alive in that time frame, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we got to witness the lore.
Yeah. And then we're going to see, we saw AI get born.
We did, pretty much.
We're going to see robots get born. We might see landing on Mars.
Or alien spacecraft in 2027.
Maybe.
Hey, you know what? In context of everything else you just said, that doesn't seem out of the realm of like ridiculousness anymore.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
It's almost expected at this point.
Yeah, it almost feels like a requirement for us to like really step forward into the AI like era. It's like we need aliens to kind of like help us navigate this shit.
Yeah.
That would make sense. It's like, you know what? We were actually watching you guys all along to get to this point.
We're here to help.
Yeah, we're here to make sure you don't like self-nuke your whole species.
Because we looked around and life is very rare.
Yeah, it's like we actually seeded like 10 million other planets in the universe with the same like jizz. The same space jizz, right? And you guys were one of the ones that made it to this point. So therefore we're here to like, you know,
get you to the next step.
Or just like, you know, liquefy you all into smoothies. It just that was the whole point of it. We just wanted you guys to be smart enough to be like really tasty smoothies.
Well, I'm here to see it, dude.
Yeah,
if that happens,
if we saw that,
fantastic.
We won.
Yes,
we actually won the lottery of life.
Of life, yeah,
I agree.
100%.
I'm down, dude.
Yeah,
We'll see.
All right. Well, that's it for us. That's been the podcast. We talked about NAT. We talked about Bitcoin. And we talked about how AI is going to automate every single job, including yours.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have any thoughts, please put it in the section below. Also, make sure you push this video to people who need some opportunity.
Yeah. You're tired of the same shit.
They're inspired not by the memes in crypto, but by fundamental like applications of solutions.
New breakthroughs, right?
Yeah.
New possibilities. If you're that type of person who likes to think of new frontiers, DMT is one of those. The utilization of Bitcoin block data for a new, producible good, layer of producible goods, digital goods. This is what we're here for, right? And
That's right.
We're getting closer and closer and closer to that point where we can really be fully transparent in our conversations here. This is our, information dissemination formatting.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Because we want that, right? Because we want full alignment among everybody who believes in this stuff and everybody who's, again, seeking these new vectors of possibility. And we're here to bring that to as many people as possible. So we're going to need a lot of help also.
Yeah. So
we can't be the only ones.
Yeah. So give us your thoughts down below. I appreciate it. And stay tuned for this big update because it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you for watching, and we will catch you in the next podcast.
Peace.